Hello and welcome to Teacher Needs Drink Podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and I'm here to let you know that this is a not safe for work podcast. This is a not safe for work podcast. We are teachers at really the end of our week and the end of our ropes, and we're tired, man. It's been a long year, so we're going to be using pseudonyms throughout the podcast so we can talk honestly and openly without having to worry about losing our jobs. Because even though we bitch about them, we still do want jobs and want these jobs for the most part. So yeah, anyway, one of the things you can do is if you really like this podcast and other than just telling people about it, you can join our Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to all kinds of bonus content, access to the host, group chats, our Facebook group. It's amazing. And you get your name right at the beginning, like these beautiful people: Inga, Kaylee, Terry J, Tracy B, Miss Wonderstats, Quentin P, Ekabex, Mistress Mischief, Natasha S, Misanthropy, Princess Buttercup, Dragon Lady, Helena C, Aaron B, Stephanie S, Text Teacher Kristen, James and Allie J, Samantha D, Lisa C, Rachel, Jin Genie, Exhausted Band Director, Kimberly K, Jessica A, Swiffle Ev Owners, Amanda F, Ariana L, Physics Runner, Steph, Michael M, William P, Aldrich D, Escorpianita, Britt M, Teresa H, Biker Teach, Marsha M, Christina B, Jason F, Abby B, Sarah B, Regina N, Josie S, Sam B, Mary E, Kristen W, Vanessa J, Mary C, RJR, Kristen C, Johanna H, Irma A, Nimi, and Sarah N. Hooray! Thank you! Woohoo! We love you! All right, also thanks to our big sponsor, Ludlam Dramatics. If you are a theater teacher or know one in your building, go to ludlamdramatics.com and get some of the best educational theater supplies you could ever expect to find. Even some that are even better. All right, folks, well, enjoy this live episode recorded in my living room, surrounded by drinks and THC and good stuff. So enjoy episode 186. People to do that. It's not on the podcast.
Not that kind of show.
I'm reviving it right now. We already lost a lot of listeners once we went liberal. And that's going to kill off the rest of them. So now.
I like how you saying that we went liberal. We weren't already there. So just quit apologizing for it.
Well, I was looking for a while and I looked at our numbers and I was like, oh yeah. Like, because we shot up for a while. We got on a lot of lists. And then I was like, what was the thing? I was like, oh yeah. It's
election time.
We said our beliefs. Yeah. And I'm not going to not say my beliefs or go against it or like try to say, you know what, voting was rigged. No, fuck that. That was all bullshit.
Right.
And anyone trying to say a student doesn't have the right to exist or get medical treatment. Yeah, fuck yes. I don't mind losing those listeners. But, there. Sorry. And welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink Podcast. Starting over again. Welcome back, my friends. I am Elvis, your host, and today I am joined by Miss Bunny O'Hare.
Hey, Elvis. Hey, folks.
And on her left, we have Mr. Wayne Kerr.
Again, I forgot what I was going to say.
Across from me, I have Miss Zola Zanzibar.
Hi.
And to my right, we have Mr. Count Chocolate.
Hey, don't count me out. Always count me in.
There we go. All right, friends, we're going to start with an article. I'll start with the story because I thought about it earlier and I didn't share it on the podcast. And so I teach at a lot of different schools. I'm a contractor. And so I go and present my services at a smorgasbord of private schools across this metroplex. And I was working at one school, which is a younger school. It's almost pre-K and some elementary. And there was this child there who had certain disabilities. And I think I was telling her, it's not Tourette's, but it's definitely on the spectrum where they have lots of outbursts, there's lots of things, and the child was walking down the hallway and went, whoop, whoop, and I went, that's the sound of the police, and the principal was like, Mr. Elvis, we do not. She said, whoop, whoop, and that's the sound of the police. I was trained. Oh.
It's a
Pavlovian response.
It's really bad.
That's one of two things I would have said.
What's the
If
other?
someone says whoop whoop,
The other is whoop whoop. It's from a Trick Daddy song. That ass is too fat.
that's right.
Right, which is also frowned upon in a high school, junior high, or elementary settings.
Or the pre-K.
Yeah, and pre-K. Let's go ahead and put that out there.
Our ass
We
is
are
fat.
not
Yeah, that
endorsing.
diaper needs to be changed.
We are not endorsing that Trick Daddy line. Nor are we just respecting fat asses. We love them.
Love that cake. All right.
All of us said.
So, this was brought to us from the Reddit spot user PlainSky2844. It's not me and my skanky Jesus Sandals.
Whoa.
Y'all,
Right.
what a weird year.
Yeah.
The teacher next door to me has lost her mind. Oh, I get it though.
Yeah.
I had a student make extremely sexual comments to me in the hallway today.
Oh.
Since he isn't one of my students, I got his name and contacted one of the APs. Pardon me. She promptly put him in ISS. Great job, well done, everyone. It turns out that the teacher in the classroom next door is the kid's teacher. She came barreling into my room, pissed. I say that because she has like 5 I's and 10 S's. Pissed that I got him in trouble. She told me if I stopped wearing my skanky sandals and bought clothes that were a few sizes too big, no one would want to look at me. I couldn't help but laugh, which made her even more mad. I have worn the same pair of jeans and sandals for the last month. My students hate these sandals and call them platform Jesus sandals. They are maybe a 2-inch platform to give me a slight height boost since I'm a short teacher. They are not sexy at all. 19 school days left, y'all. Let's do it. I hope this made everyone laugh at me. Have you guys ever had any... I don't know. I don't even know where to go with this. What you got, Count?
I have a uniform. I'll double up on jeans in the same week, but I don't know if I can wear the same pair every day and the same sandals. I don't know.
I
I'm
have
a shoe guy.
100% gone 5 days at work wearing the same pairs of jeans and shoes. Not sandals, though.
But you work at different locations.
I do know
I see the same group walk down the hallway, same time, same duty station. Someone's gonna say something and probably fire my ass up. Like, yeah, I ain't count. Like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I feel like I saw that outfit Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Like, we taking bets on Friday. Like, odds are we're okay. But yeah, woof, man. But that's tough to be called out by another coworker though.
And call out for another and being told to wear clothes two sizes below. There was a picture on Reddit, I'm sure it's everywhere else, of a teacher who had a very large bottom and very tight jeans. And she also had a tiny, but I mean, she wasn't dressed inappropriately. But the article caption was like some Facebook, like, is this appropriate to wear in school? It's like, what is she gonna do? Leave her ass at home? Just like, all of a sudden, I don't have tits anymore. Like, does she have to wear something? But like the teacher and the bootylicious teacher, she wasn't wearing anything that was like, oh my god, but you just couldn't not tell that she had the fat ass. It was thick.
Don't.
Do you need
Yeah,
a minute?
No, I'm good. I'm just reflecting.
I thought that was my job. Oh, wait.
So, two things there.
Bring us back, Bunny. Bring us back.
Take over. I need your help here.
Woo! All right. So, thing number one, the other teacher getting mad because the host. What was the person's name?
Oh, let's
Plain
see.
Sky.
Plain Sky 2844.
Ms. I feel like it's okay to say Ms. 2844 there. She did not get the kid in trouble. The kid got his own dumb ass in trouble by making inappropriate comments to a teacher. And I'm going to assume that this kid is of at least enough of an age to know that don't say dumb shit to teachers.
What?
Like, but then also, I would like to also quote the Lord's word here and say, maybe instead of body shaming somebody, you should gouge your own eyes out instead of commenting on somebody else's, getting thrown off by somebody else's body there.
Yes.
Amen.
That was a really kind of a blaming the victim thing they have in there, because she got sexually harassed by a student, or they said something inappropriate. It's like, well, maybe if you didn't dress that way. Like, I thought we were kind of past that maybe you should just not say shitty things no matter how someone's dressed. Bunny, come on. Let it out. I see your eyes exploding.
I have a story to tell once we're off mic.
With the sandals thing, though, I mean, I know it seems like a cheap shot in wearing, because she's wearing them every day. But then, like, honestly, at what point you just gotta lean into it if you're just gonna wear them, and then it becomes like then you gotta just keep going because people notice
it. Shtick at that point.
Yeah, that's a bit. Then,
but I kind of feel with teachers it's acceptable, and I know lots of teachers, like there'll be some of the elementary teachers who wear like the sweater. What are they called? What's it called?
The
cardigan?
They'll be wearing like the cardigan ones that have the appliques on them, like the school bus and the apple and the worm and all that. They have their keys with like the letter blocks on it, like very, very. And they do it all the time. They wear that every day, and it's fine. It's just what they. But I don't see the big deal about wearing sandals all the time. Like I don't wear sandals all the time, but I mean if that's. Oh, you still wearing them shoes? Yeah, they're my shoes. I'm a teacher. I got like 3 pairs. I got my outdoor, my running ones, and these, and my church pair too. So
my kids know that I wear my boots all the damn time because that's it.
Just lean into it. It's your thing.
I think it's that the kids get so bored. Number one, they're looking to pay attention to anything other than what you're trying to teach them. So they'll notice like that thing on the wall that's been there for 5 years or some stain. I mean, that's why everyone got so invested on the DVD screen burner. When you were waiting in class and you saw the DVD thing bouncing wall to wall and hoping it hits the corner. It's because you just don't want to pay attention.
Nope.
And so the kids do, and because of that, they get to notice all of this shit you don't. And like John Mulaney says, like middle school boys and high school girls are the most vicious because they will like make fun of you for stuff that is startlingly accurate. Like you got feminine hips. Like oh shit, yeah I do. Damn, I can't do anything about that. You're just screwed because they know it and they see it. I just gotta dress better. It's my fault.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, this one's brought to us by Haunticide from the Reddits. It's a crazy realization. The water fountains are opening up at my school. Wow, they are clearly not in Texas because I don't think they ever shut them down. The water fountains are opening up at schools in my district, and after recess or PE, students may use them before heading back to class. I realized after the first day of using water fountains again that most kindergarten through second grade students have no idea how to even use them because they've never been allowed to use them anywhere due to COVID. I never would have thought I'd be teaching kids how to use a water fountain. It was funny seeing them try to figure it out. You know, I haven't made that connection to the thing, but I work with a lot of pre-K kids and elementary school kids. And I've noticed I've had to tell, like, hey, don't put your mouth on that. Because, like, did you ever see the Parks and Rec episode where, like, the people in Pawnee, Indiana don't know how to use a water fountain? And so, like, they have tried to put, like, cages on because everyone in the town tries to put their mouth all over the splash guard or whatever. And that's what these kids do because no one's ever taught them. It's like, just go do it. And they're like, oh, okay. And everyone assumes that, like, a 6-year-old or a 5-year-old knows what they're doing. But
did the water get into my mouth? Okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh, but there's like, yeah, now we're all licking this piece of metal. It's rusty and green. There's mineral deposits on it.
It's never just fully clean and sanitized. It's got some color to it.
Oh.
I don't remember what point it was where I was like, I'm done with public water fountains. I have to say I was probably in college, but I have a feeling it was when I was professional. Like, yeah, the water fountains, I don't want to touch where every hand is and definitely where all those mouths are. And I know the water shoots up, but something still about that just... I don't like it. It seems dirty.
It is.
Yeah.
But what's crazy, like if you go to Italy or something, they have all these ancient water fountains and things, and like the water's good to drink, and so people go and scoop it and just fill up their water bottles, and I'm like, ew, y'all nasty.
Hydrate.
Yeah.
I think I quit in junior high because that's when we had to be careful about where you were standing because people would always smack your butt when you're leaning over.
I remember your butt back then.
That's junior high.
Zola, want some water? All right, I asked about this one a little while ago, and I bet you guys completely forgot about it since then. But this one was posted by user Mark Timmy, and it says, 30 years ago, a 4th grade girl was in the hallway and wouldn't go back to class. Her teacher pointed her out as I was walking down the hall. I said, Cindy, if you don't go back to class, I'm going to pick you up and put you in your seat. She didn't. I did. Principal walked by and saw me carrying this 4th grade girl down the hall. Principal said, you should have gone back to class when he told you to, Cindy. To this day, this woman, the girl who I carry back to class, jokes about it with me. She never had to be told again, but I treated her like gold the rest of her elementary career because I felt bad about it. I knew it had to be done for her sake. Yeah, I can see today if you pick up a kid, I mean, even now, just... I have to be careful about how I redirect because I work with lots of little kids and we're running around. Sometimes I have to put my hand down nope, and try to guide them back without contact or pushing. And God forbid, I never squeeze a kid where they get a bruise, but who knows if they fell on the playground and I think it's the combination of litigiousness and just. There's just some stuff we probably shouldn't do. I don't know. I almost feel that if a kid's throwing a fit and refusing to go to class, they should get picked up or moved. But I don't know. Guys, who has a story about something from early in your career that would probably get you fired now? Mr. Wanker.
I knew he'd go.
So, let's see here. It's my first year of teaching, and 2 high school students start beating the shit out of each other right outside my room. So, being the stupid person that I was at that point in time, I was like, well, we can't just let this one kid be the ever motherfucking living shit out of the other. So, in which case, I was able to get said kid from behind and grabbed him by, under the arms, through the shoulders, and then I rotated and tossed him, and yeah, he hit the wall. So, and I mean, the thing is that, yeah, I don't think that if we had let him keep on going, the other kid would have made it. So, in which case, that was just one of those things of, okay, well, and it's on security camera and everything. So, I'm very, lucky that nothing came out of that shit. But at the same time, I probably had my ass fired for that.
I remember when I first started teaching, it was, I don't want to say a rural school, but it was a school in a very, very small town. It was a middle school, and it was definitely a very troubled school with lots of students who had a lot of challenges heading their way.
Yep.
And I remember there were 2 kids, and I was sitting there next to the AP, and it was lunchtime, and for whatever reason, the admin was kind of sitting at a table, and these 2 kids just started beating the shit out of each other, and one of them picked up a tray, and the coach started to get up. It's like, hey, stop. And the principal said, no. Wait a second. And kablam. It's like, okay, go get him now. I was like, holy shit.
He had it coming.
Yeah, he's like that. He's like, he goes, he had to learn a lesson. That kid's been an asshole to the wrong people too many times. He's like, we can't do anything, but he just learned a lesson. I'm like, ooh. I don't know how I feel about that one, but. Count, you got any stories? It's okay if you don't, because you're a good guy.
I do. Early in my teaching career, I remember having a conversation with coworkers, and I think this was the day after graduation, so no one's on campus, but there was a particular graduate who would cross the stage, and she, pretty girl, but someone mentioned her name, and collectively it was like, ooh, oh yeah. And at that time, I think our principal walked by, like, what you guys talking about? And we were like, oh, we just having a conversation. He was like, thank God there's no kids in the hallways hearing you talk like that. And I feel like any kind of comment, if anyone hears that, in a time like this, you're going to be... You're gone. Yes. You're probably going to resign, or your name is coming up in front of the board.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd prefer to not have that live streamed interview or meeting publicized everywhere. So... I learned a quick lesson.
I am very, very careful about how I present myself and what I say in front of the kids, because who knows what's going to go back home. Like, well, Elvis said that we could set our hair on fire and that we could build a wall. I'm like, no. I said none of these things. That was not. That was your pastor. Anyway. Wow! Buddy, anything?
Ouch.
You don't sit down for that one.
This is a conversation that Mama O'Hare and I were having just the other day. My younger sister and I had the same middle school English teacher, and we both loved that woman. But the way that she handled classroom management would 600% get her fired today, because she was the type who would just throw stuff at anyone who was talking. Like
Nice.
chalkboard erasers, pen caps, pieces of chalk. She would fish ice out of her. She always had a cup of Dr. Pepper. She would fish ice out of her Dr. Pepper and flick it and throw it at people. Like if you sat near somebody who ran their mouth too much, she got really good at like the bobbing and weaving, like the ducking when she, you know, wound up. But yeah, everybody loved her because she was like this really hyper, you know, bouncy, talked a mile a minute, you know. She was the cheerleading sponsor, hysterical. She was the honors English teacher. The band director who screamed and threw his baton at a child and it snapped when it hit their music stand, he was not as well liked.
No.
Yeah.
But the goofy English teacher that threw pieces of ice at children who were talking was well loved, but she would most certainly not be allowed to do that today.
Nope.
Another thing she would do was that she would paint people's fingernails
Awesome.
who fell asleep in her class. She kept a bottle of pink nail polish in her desk drawer, and if you were a dude who fell asleep in her class, she would go over and paint whichever fingernails she could reach. And then, so you would see kids later in the day and be like, so you fell asleep in English, huh? How'd that work out for you?
I remember talking to my mentor teacher, and she was talking about taking kids to some of the UIL state competitions, and that they would bust kids with booze. And back then, if a kid came to school with booze, they'd pour it down the sink and go back to class and keep going. Like, oh, yeah, no, they would have you, they'd try to do everything to you if a student had that now.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm okay with that. We don't want to encourage it, but they decided not to ruin a kid's life over, you know.
Yeah.
What do you got, Count?
I think, back to what Bunny was saying, if we fell asleep in my junior high math class, our teacher would take the eraser and put the long, like, chalkboard erasers and put a stripe either down your back or down the middle of your head.
No.
The eraser, so you'd have a white, thick stripe going down, like a race stripe going down the middle.
Like
and
a
that's happened to me a
stripe.
couple times, like, and I was wearing some kind of a dark shirt, and you just can't get all the chalk out. It's just like, all right, lesson learned. There's nothing, and it's not like I was gonna call home and be like, this is what my teacher did. Well, why? Because I was snoring during class. Not just asleep. I was snoring for sure. Definitely for sure. But yeah, probably get fired for that now.
Okay, yeah, but what I look at is, you know, most of us have survived what other teachers have done to us, and I mean, the amount of shit that I can think of from one particular teacher who was one of my most favorite teachers, he would be definitely fired for all that shit. But at the same time, I learned the most from him. So
it's an odd thing. I was watching the show Buried. It's on HBO right now. It's an amazing, brilliant show. And in that, there's an acting coach who's played by Fonzie. I just forgot his name. Harry Winkler. Henry Winkler, that's right. And he's very abusive in that, where he kind of torments the kids. Yes. And anyway, in this new episode, I'm not spoiling anything in the show in this one scene, he is not teaching, and another woman is teaching, who was one of his students. And she starts teaching another girl the way she was taught, which was like, no, she was pretty much verbally abusing her. Like, no, pull up this last thing. You're trash. What are you doing? And so she does this exercise, and while she achieves it, the whole class is like, that was uncool. She's like, but that's how I learned. Like, just because you learned and survived doesn't mean it's okay to do it to others. I'm like, yeah, I gotta remember that. Just because a teacher did that weird shit and I thought it was funny, doesn't mean everyone's gonna be cool with it. Maybe it doesn't need to keep going on.
no.
Yeah. Well, on that note, hey guys, guess what? We have a Patreon!
I love those!
They are amazing. For as little as $5, $10 a month, you can belong to our Patreon. You'll get access to over 100 different episodes of exclusive content online. You can join our Facebook group that's just for Patreons, where we share lovely things and cute. Even though it's like about 7 or 8 of us sharing funny stuff all the time, the rest of them enjoy it immensely. It's just great. You can also live chat with the host while we're recording. We have game nights, movie nights. It's exciting. So join us and do it now! Woohoo! Yay! Do it. Let's get cards out of that box. I think that's the fun one. I'm tired of this, like, would you rather have a horizontal butt crack or vertical lifts? And like, I want the horizontal butt cracks when I go down steps.
Easier. Hey, that thing be clapping when you do anything regular.
I know. You couldn't stop it.
Imagine if you jumped.
And the vertical math. All the steps. Go on a Stairmaster. They would probably market booty silencers.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be a thing.
That would be like.
You'd have some kind of.
It would be like a sports bra. It'll
thing
hold
that
your
just-
cheeks
that's-
together for clapping.
Yeah.
And
For when you're walking
they'd have a
around.
whole market of sweat reducing
Clappers.
ones.
And then there'd be like TikToks of people like clapping their cheeks like this.
Yeah.
What I can do.
Like
Yeah.
starting with like the boxer shorts tucked in, and you're just like, okay, let's see this.
When I'm embarrassed, I just wedge tissue in there and it muffles it.
Oh my goodness.
Why is everybody always clapping?
So, what if that just changed concerts? Like instead of everyone clapping, like they get excited when it starts jumping up and down. People in kilts and mini skirts are the loudest.
Oh, that would be great.
All right. Would you rather have the face of a cat or permanently have the body of a 12-year-old?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I gotta go with cat face. I know there are lots of women out there who love cats to a really disturbing level.
Yes.
Looking at you, Bunny. Lady Shafia, some of the people out there. I know I could find a partner who would love me with the face of a cat. And they'd probably be okay. But, you know, if they're demented in the way that they like me. And I can accept that. I mean, how... I don't want the body of a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
It's just... No. It's I mean, maybe if I was like a gymnast. But even then, I don't even think they want to have it for that long.
And you don't want a partner who's going to love you for the body of it.
Oh, no. That's true.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that went dark.
So, gang, I had my answer that did not involve a pedophile partner. It was just someone who likes to fuck cats. So, you know.
Pedophilia or bestiality? What's your?
I gotta say, I haven't watched the Cats movie, but I've seen Taylor Swift with that little tail, and it's not the worst thing ever. I mean, it's not a way of life for me, but I think there's worse roads I could go down. Count?
Wow.
I'm gonna give a one-word answer and just say cat.
Yeah.
What about you, Zola?
I mean, I can't pick anything else at this point because I ruined it. No, I think probably cat. Little whiskers would be fun.
Yeah. You'd always know if a space was too small for you.
People want to pet me. I like it.
You could be a great spelunker. You could go caving, and you'd always like, nope, it's too small. I can't do it. Nope, back out. You'd hate vacuuming, though.
Oh, shit.
What about you, Wayne?
So, definitely the cat.
Oh, and Bunny?
See, I was.
Are you really torn on this one?
I was until y'all made it weird. I was until you made it weird.
Let me paint a picture for you.
No,
She's
like-
sitting here sweetly,
I was
and her
the
little
same-
brow is furrowed, and she looks very concerned.
I was the same height, wore the same size shoes. Like, I don't look that different now than I did when I was 12. So, I mean,
Bunny, I knew you when you were 19 and 20, and you did not have the body of a 12-year-old. You had, for lack of a disgusting thing, you had blossomed into a woman by now.
I thought you said lack of disgusting.
There's no way to say
lack
this.
of disgusting.
So you would rather have the body of a 12-year-old than a cat face?
I don't know, cat, sure. I'll...
Yeah.
Except, but then would all the other cats be afraid of me and, like, want to fight me?
Oh,
This
you'd
is
be
a
the bully.
concern.
You'd be the bully
This
cat.
is a concern. These are the questions you didn't ask.
I
the bully
really
alley
feel we
cat.
need Lady Shafiat's opinion on this one, but she's at banquet. All right, folks. Well, thanks for listening to another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I appreciate all of you guys for listening. I really appreciate my host for joining me today. Today we had Mr. Count Chocolate.
You know what? You did have Count Chocolate, and he was thrilled to be here. Thank you so much.
It was a good time. And Miss Zola Zanzibar.
Thank you for having me. My face hurts.
Oh, and Mr. Wayne Kerr.
Apparently, you do lose memories when you do it too often.
And Miss Bunny O'Hare.
That broke my brain. It was a pleasure as always.
All right, folks. Deep breaths, deep drinks. Cheers!
I'm sorry.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I'd like to thank all my hosts who joined me to record this wonderful episode. We had a blast. We had some fun extra excerpts ended up on the Patreon for those who are members. And you can be a member for as little as $5 a month. Yay! All right, folks. I'm tired. It's like 1 a.m. I was supposed to release this like 90 minutes ago, but I forgot, and I just got in from being out. And so here it is. All right. Thanks, guys, for still listening. Love y'all.